Here's something about having a friend or a mate where you always think you need to help, or you feel like if you help, then they get happier and your life gets better because they are happier. If that person loves to take on lots of tasks, let's draw them like buckets. And at the same time, you always feel their stress, and you think, if I skip in and take some of that bucket load away, then that other person will get happier, and you think that sharing their load will help. The thing is that we all have our level of stress we want to have in our life. When you take away some of their stress, but their limit is higher, they want to fill up. And they'll just take on new bucket loads. And if you still don't get it, you will start to take even those bucket loads away from them, hoping that now that you carry even more than they do, now you should get more calm, less stressed, shouldn't you? But no, because that person still has her stress level up and will just take on another bucket. In the end, or at a certain point, you might get resentful of all the bucket loads you have taken on for that person, because now you are carrying lots of weight you never signed on for. The other person is still the same with her stress level and her disharmony and everything, and you didn't gain. Well, you gained buckets. And one solution to that can be to drop all your buckets or give them back to the person, because you can't lower their stress level, but you can learn to cope with a lower stress level yourself. You can't tell them lower your stress level while you are still stressing out about their buckets and wanting to take them on, and So first you start to unload yourselves and get calm and start to actually just observe them. You don't want to help them anymore, you just observe. You can even acknowledge them and say, hey, that's really lots of buckets you have there. It looks very interesting. Go on. Feel free to carry them. You might actually have placed the buckets you carried back to them, because it was their hobby initially and it's their passion. You just thought by taking away some of their load, they might slow down and you might have a happy life with them. No, sometimes the healing is that you leave them with their buckets, or actually you don't even, in the beginning, you don't even start to take their buckets. But you can acknowledge them and say, I'm a witness to what you're doing and it's looking great. I'm very amazed by what you do. I'm doing something else because my passion lies elsewhere. It might even lie in doing not that much, and you don't need to take yoga classes to be allowed to take time off and to have downtime for yourself. You are as free as a bird to do that. The other person actually can now, by observing you and thinking, hey, this person is alive and kicking without taking on all these bucket loads. This person now can decide to get rid of buckets. And if it likes it, it can get rid of even more buckets, because usually all the buckets which we try to carry with all the stones in them, usually it's not even ours. It's we have taken on things we think we need to take on to save this world. But this world actually doesn't need saving. It just needs living in it. And if this person actually calms down and just does what she or he is passionate about, they will do a great job in this life. And both of you can live and just observe each other and see how things go. But you can't help others really by taking the load off their shoulder. They need to drop it themselves. You can skip in sometimes, of course, but don't make it a habit, because they need to lower their need, their want to take on all those loads. And by unloading them on you, they just get more free hands, more energy to take on more. And they'll just schedule you in, and you'll start to resent them because all of a sudden you became a helper for their passion, and you just don't have much life of your own left the more you try to help them solve their life.